Hello and welcome to Clever News Desk. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. Save me from injustice and bias. Rufai begs Chief Judge of Abuja Federal High Court. Indeed, the rich also cry. Rep members beg for mercy over planned August 1 nationwide protest. Accept 50% pay cut. IT systems collapse as global outrage hits Paris 2024 Olympics preparations. I am Florence Joshua with these and more. Following speculations of a planned nationwide protest in August, members of the House of Representatives this Thursday agreed to donate 50% of their salaries for a period of 6 months to assist the federal government in addressing the economic situation in the country. The resolution of the House was sequel to a motion of urgent importance for an appeal to the proponents of the proposed nationwide protest to maintain peace, eschew violence and open windows for meaningful engagement with the government at all levels in order to address their issues. The motion was sponsored by the member representing Ifo Ewekoro Federal Constituency, Ogun State, Ibrahim Isiaka, during Thursday's plenary. There have been reports of an impending nationwide mass protest by youths to express displeasure about the hardship in the country, reflecting in the high cost of living, food scarcity and unemployment and so on. While admitting that Nigerians have the constitutional right to demand better living conditions, the Ogun lawmakers urged the youth to give the government a chance to fix the challenges facing the nation. Meanwhile, observers say, how possible is this? Hence, nobody knows how much the lawmakers are paid. Former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai, has petitioned the Chief Judge of the Abuja Federal High Court, alleging a case of bias by the judge presiding over his case against the Kaduna State House of Assembly at the Federal High Court, Kaduna. In the petition filed at the Federal High Court, Abuja, by his counsel Abdul Hakim Mustafa SAN, El-Rufai alleged bias, injustice and denial of fair hearing by Justice Rewan M. Aikawa. The former governor prayed that the matter be transferred to another judge in the interest of justice. Recall that the former governor is a standing trial over misappropriation of funds during his 8 years as governor of Kaduna State. The National Biotechnology Development Agency, NAPDAP, has announced plans to release genetically modified soybeans, rice and wheat for commercial planting as a measure to combat food insecurity and boost food production across the country. Speaking at a side event at the ongoing International Conference on Biotechnology on Thursday in Abuja, the nation's capital, the Director General NAPDAP, Professor Abdullahi Mustafa, expressed confidence that the new crops will go a long way in reducing food scarcity and ensure that farmers in the country are self-reliant.
Seated in this hall are key stakeholders in the biotechnology industry from different ministries, departments and agencies of government, as well as civil society and non-governmental organizations. The purpose of this gathering is to brainstorm and map out strategies on how Nigeria can fully maximize and deploy trends in the biotechnology industry to boost food security, strengthen the economy, and promote commercialization of products that emerged out of research and innovation from the country to enable it become competitive globally. Speaking at the event, the Director General, National Biotechnology Development Agency, Professor Abdullahi Mustafa, said following Nigeria's success in the release of the Teller maize and the pod borer-resistant cowpea varieties, which are genetically modified, stakeholders are making plans to release a new batch of genetically modified crops to further drive efforts of using the technology to improve farmers' production and reduce food scarcity.
The 2 crops that have been released in Nigeria are doing tremendously well in terms of alleviating hunger in the country. We are talking about the crops that are going to be released very soon. We are talking about soybean, and we are talking about rice and wheat also. These are some crops that are going to take a little time before they are released because of the safety rigorous procedure that we used to follow. And for sure, this is going to emancipate the country from all this hunger issue. And also we are working on the improvement of milk production. And this is also in the side of animal production in the country. And this meat improvement and milk improvement is going to improve in the economy of the country.
In his remarks, the Agricultural Counselor, United States Department of Agriculture, and other stakeholders present highlighted the need to share ideas, review success stories, dispel rumors, share policies, regulations, and best practices so as to deepen innovation for national development and productivity, ultimately for Nigeria's benefit.
We also have a lot to learn from Nigeria because our farmers are being challenged by climate change. And we also know that the climate is changing in Nigeria as well. And so a lot of biotechnology development research is going in to develop products that we see in the future. How is the changing climate going to affect production, yields? And this is something that I think Nigeria, with unique climates that's very different from the United States, we can learn a lot from Nigeria. So this is really about a mutual win-win relationship between our two countries.
It is quite abnormal, I would say, that it is accepted in other areas, and when it comes to food, it becomes a problem. But when a product is inoculated into your blood, isn't it directly in your body? And it is produced following the same methods. It is said safe, and you take it in your blood. These food are declared safe, and taking them in your digestive tube is not any problem at all.
We really need to embrace biotechnology. Biotechnology, we should know, with the challenges we are facing in the whole world, globally, when it comes to the issue of insecurity, the issue of desertification, climate change, and whatsoever. Without the use of biotechnology, I don't think we should be strong enough to address these challenges that are coming in.
A few future promising trends exist, which includes the next generation biotechnology, such as synthetic biotechnology and advanced gene editing techniques, precision agriculture, which includes integrating biotechnology tools with precision farming techniques, digital and smart farming, leveraging AI, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things to optimize agricultural practices.
The event, organized by the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology, Nigeria Chapter, an initiative of the African Agricultural Technology Foundation under the auspices of the National Biotechnology Research and Development Agency, in collaboration with the United States Department of Agriculture, had as its theme, Biotechnology Outreach Workshop, Sharing is Believing. Gloria Atta, reporting for Clearview News.
Following the Supreme Court judgment last Thursday, which granted financial autonomy to the 774 local governments in Nigeria, stakeholders are canvassing for measures to effectively implement the verdict. Speaking at a press conference on Thursday in Abuja, civil society organization Speak Out Africa Initiative called for a reform in the process of conducting elections at local government councils through the establishment of the Local Government Electoral Commission, as this will give full effect to achieving the Apex Court judgments and protect the local government system in Nigeria from the undemocratic and overbearing tendencies of some governors.
The plight of the local government as a totem of governance in Nigeria cannot be overstated. For too long, our rural communities have grappled with underdevelopment, poverty, insecurity, and what my view, and the sense of alienation from the decision-making processes that affect their daily lives. This judgment represents a beacon of hope, a catalyst for change that seeks to revolutionize local governance and bring much-needed succor to our rural populace, especially if well managed. To complement this financial autonomy and ensure the sustainability of effective governance at the local level, Speak Out Africa Initiative and other non-governmental organizations urgently calls for the establishment of the National Local Government Election Commission, NALGEC, a centralized body to be domesticated within the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The establishment of NALGEC is essential for ensuring that local government elections are democratic and free from undue influence, while giving all political parties equal playing ground or equal playing field.
Before 1999, when this dispensation keyed in, INEC was conducting local government elections. And the products of that process, I am one of it, and Ike Kurumadu is one of it, have proved their mettle in the country. The local government areas are veritable brewing grounds for national leadership, and should be strengthened and encouraged to perform the role that the Constitution envisages for it.
We at Speak Out Africa Initiative were calling all local governments and intending local government chairmen to adopt accountability, transparency, and open budgeting in their governance process or systems. We are intentional in creating websites, Freedom of Information Act desk, and capacity buildings for local governments in Nigeria.
Recall that the Supreme Court had in judgment frowned at the decades-long refusal of the state government on financial autonomy for local governments. In its led judgment read by Justice Emmanuel Ajim, the Apex Court mandated the federal government to begin immediate and direct payment of local government funds to the latter's exclusive accounts. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has disclosed his administration's readiness to partner Ogun-Osun River Basin Authority on irrigation programs with fast-track development. We have a report.
The governor said the river basin authorities across the states recognizes the importance of local partnership, stressing that collaboration with the river basin will continue to enhance his administration's push to secure food security.
As a government, with a huge infra plan, collaboration with the river basin will enhance our push to secure food security. We are open to joint action on your irrigation program of your agency. We have several dams that can be adopted for the irrigation initiative. We are interested in the deployment of an irrigation plan for the Iranian dam.
The managing director of Ogun-Osun River Basin Authority, Adedeji Ashiru, said it is important to improve infrastructure to enhance mobility and economic activities, as well as renovation of healthcare centers for community dwellers to assess quality health and general well-being.
In perfecting the title of our farmland and request additional land to expand our irrigation projects within the Osun State. We also look forward to enhance stakeholders' engagement, identify areas requiring federal government intervention.
The governor said he will continue to collaborate with relevant stakeholders to ensure the development of the state. Zion Chris, reporting for Clearview News.
As part of efforts geared towards enhancing military cooperations in Africa, Nigeria is set to host the second edition of the Africa Military Games between 5th to 18th November 2024 in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. This was disclosed by the Director of Sport, Defense Headquarters, Abuja Air Vice Marshal Abidemi Timothy at a press conference this Friday. He noted that the event will provide a veritable platform for military agencies of various African countries to interact and strengthen collaborations, thereby enhancing cooperation in quests to foster peace and socio-economic development across the regions, while opening Nigeria up to more economic opportunities.
This event is scheduled between 5th November to 18th November in Abuja at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. The theme of this event is enhancing military cooperation in Africa through sport. These games will feature both male and female athletes participating in 19 sporting events for 54 African countries. Now, the aims of this game is to further cement the camaraderie and cooperation that is existing among African countries, African military. Also want to use the opportunity of hosting these games to bring on board many of our brothers who are currently not seeing eye to eye in terms of military cooperation, and to further enhance, security in Africa. So, about 43 nations have already submitted their first preliminary agreement to participate in the games. We are going to have athletics, archery, badminton, boxing, basketball, combat swimming, football, golf, handball, judo, kickboxing, obstacle crossing, shooting, squash, table tennis, lawn tennis, taekwondo, volleyball, and wrestling. Hosting international event of this stature has a lot of benefit for the hosting country. So for Nigeria, while hosting these games, it's going to increase tourists to our country. It will project Nigeria to the world. Nigeria will be visible. So when tourists come to your country, they are coming to spend money on accommodation, food, transportation, souvenirs, and other goods and services. So hosting these games is a positive force multiplier with respect to economic growth.
Also speaking at the event, President of the Organized Board of Military Sports in Africa, Major General Mekano Abdullahi, said sporting activities, especially by military personnel, would help countries understand their operations better and foster peace on the continent.
We believe Nigeria has the capacity. Nigeria has all it takes to host. They have been hosting other things, but this is a unique event because it involves the armed forces of Africa. And by implication, some of our friends from Russia, Germany, United States of America are also coming as invited athletes also. So there's a lot of benefits. See, the aim of this our event is to bring peace to Africa. The military are the ones to be in the forefront for fighting, and we want to also be in the forefront to bring peace to Africa.
The Africa Military Games is a multi-sport event for military athletes in Africa. The event was hosted by Kenya in April 2002 with 32 countries in attendance and over 1,562 athletes and 11 sports events under the auspices of the International Military Sports Council, CSIM, and its sister group, the Organization of Military Sports in Africa, OSMA. 22 years after the kickoff of the first edition, the Africa Military Games is set to return back to the center stage, with Nigeria set to host the second edition in November 2024 at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. Ministry of Labour and Employment, the Presidential Initiative on Compressed National Gas, CNG, and the National Institute of Transport Technology have signed a Memorandum of Understanding on the training of technicians on the conversion of petrol, diesel vehicles to CNG-powered vehicles. as well as maintenance and repair of CNG vehicles in Nigeria. Clever News Imofonokon has the details.
Before the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding last year, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu approved the establishment of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative. The initiative is in furtherance of the President's commitment to easing the impact of fuel subsidy removal on Nigerians by reducing energy costs. According to the project director, Presidential Initiative Compressed Natural Gas, Michael Oluwapemi, the initiative is an intervention program that will help reduce dependence on premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol.
So this MOU is about collaboration with labor, including the Ministry of Labor, oversighting the labor unions of both the operators and the mechanical technician associations in Nigeria, primarily MOMTAN and NATA, to nominate those likely technicians that will be trained in the next 60 days to 75 days as we get this conversion program up and running.
We have a training center in Abuja here that can carry up to 100 people at once. It's just that that will be for the theory thing, but for the practical, we can't take that number. It's going to be in small batches of maybe 5 or 10 probably. So, and again, aside that, we have our centers in Zaria, training center in Zaria, which is our head office. We have in Lagos, we have in Port Harcourt, we have in Ebonyi, and so many other centers, around, up to 9 centers around the country.
Minister of State, Labor and Employment Nkirika Onyenyacha pledged full support for the initiative, adding that it will ease transportation and improve the livelihood of all Nigerians.
Promise that we will continue to partner with you, we will continue to support you, we will continue to collaborate and make sure that at the end of the day, Nigerian workers will have the cheapest fare to get to work, and it will be an end of era where workers will come on Monday and sleep under the staircase or around the corner just to make sure they avoid transportation, because I know that this initiative is going to bring down transportation minimally.
The initiative, according to the presidency, is poised to revolutionize the transportation landscape in the country, targeting over 11,500 new compressed natural gas-enabled vehicles and 55,000 CNG conversion kits for existing premium motor spirit dependent vehicles. Imefonokun reporting for Clever News.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the news on Clever News Desk. We will be back after this break. Stay with us. Survival is not just a physical thing, it's a constant mental affair. Welcome back. Organizers of the Paris Olympics have said this Friday that they were experiencing problems linked to a major worldwide computer system outage a week before the game's opening ceremony takes place. According to the reports, the issue came as a major outage wrought havoc on computer systems worldwide, grounding flights in the United States, derailing television broadcasts in the UK, and impacting telecommunications in Australia. Meanwhile, organizers of the event said Paris 2024's technical teams have been fully mobilized to mitigate the impact of these issues, and we have activated contingency plans in order to continue operations. A source at the Paris Olympic Games Organizing Committee said the problem is affecting the accreditation system, with some people unable to pick up badges before next Friday's ceremony on River Seine. The source added it will also affect the arrival of athletes who have had flights cancelled after Athletes Olympic Village welcomed its first guest on Thursday. And that's the news, but before we go, a recap of the top stories. Former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai, has petitioned the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Abuja, seeking a transfer of the 423 billion naira corruption case leveled against him by the Kaduna State House of Assembly. He alleged a case of bias by the judge presiding over the case. Following speculations of a planned nationwide protest in August, members of the House of Representatives this Thursday agreed to donate 50% of their salaries for a period of 6 months to address the federal government in addressing the economic situation in the country. Organizers of the Paris Olympics have said this Friday that they were experiencing problems linked to a major worldwide computer systems outage, a week before the Games' opening ceremony. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter at Clearview Online. Many thanks for watching. I am Florence Joshua. Bye for now.